Yuta Okkotsu is a bum. We've all been knowing this, but because he's back in JJK Season 3, I wanted to make this video so that no one switches up and decides to, God forbid, start liking Yuta. If you already like Yuta and want to know why he's so hated, or if you already think he's an ugly loser bum hakari victim, then keep watching because I want to make sure you guys are up to date on why Yuta Okkotsu is such a fraud at the moment. Step 1 of slandering Yuta Okkotsu. Make sure you say he's carried by Rika, because without Rika, he would deadass be Megami level. And by Megami level, I mean grade 3 curse level. Rika deadass does all the heavy lifting for this dude. She has the unlimited curse energy, she has the copy techniques, and she can be fully manifested for 5 minutes. Without Rika, Yuta is a grade 3 droid. Now, if you're in one of them heated internet argument things about Yuta, someone might try and counter this by saying stupid crap like, oh, Yuta actually is the one who created Rika using his own immense power in the first place, and that the copy technique actually is Yuta's, Rika just acts as a storage. Or they might say some equally stupid stuff like, Yuta actually beat a special grade curse like Kurorushi and then even fought Uro and Ryu in base without Rika and was even managing to strategize and analyze their techniques mid-combat before healing all of the damage he took in a matter of seconds. If they say dumb shit like this, you can do one of two things. You can completely ignore it and call Yuta ugly, or say it was a mistranslation. Obviously, people who have actually read the series know that Yuta is carried by Rika. And let's be honest, we shouldn't even have to explain why. We shouldn't even have to give evidence for our argument. Even if there is completely solid evidence that this isn't the case, we just shouldn't have to explain it. Step 2 of slandering Yuta Okkotsu. Make sure to complain about him being missing for half of the series and then turning up out of nowhere, and also mention that he has absolutely no writing outside of JJK0. This is the perfect counter technique to Yuta glaze, because JJK fans can't read and most likely won't be able to explain the depths of Yuta Okkotsu's character even if Gege Akatami explained it to them like they were 5 years old. Again, we need to just simply ignore the fact that he has key parallels to Gojo and Yuji when it comes to JJK's overarching themes of isolation and strength. It's not like Yuta is the product of Gojo's dream becoming a reality, in that he has overwhelming strength as well as being cursed by love itself, but still holds his head high because he is cherished by those around him and in turn cherishes them. Even if some crazed glazer tries to argue Yuta has some of the most consistent writing, with him vowing to kill Kenjaku to spare Gojo from killing his friend again, or when he was analyzing Gojo vs Sukuna all the way through so that he could put his genius brain to good use and formulate the perfect strategy later on, or that he was the only one who tried to help Gojo against Sukuna because, like Yuji, Yuta actually viewed Gojo as a real person who deserved to live. If you have actual reading comprehension, like us Yuta haters, you will realize this is all just made up waffle and rhetoric and agenda designed to try and trick you into thinking Yuta is anything more than an ugly, boring, one-dimensional Rika merchant with no writing. Do not let them fool you. He is a bum that adds nothing to the story and isn't even cool because copy techniques are boring in anime. I mean, maybe if Gege took a fundamentally boring technique like copy and then made it incredibly interesting because the user actually incorporates analysis of their opponent's techniques into his fighting style, or if he used the abilities to create cool combo attacks, then it would be cool and awesome. Gege obviously doesn't do any of this with Yuta though. I really should not have to explain why it's boring. If you are a mindless Yuta-hating NPC droid, if you are a level-headed person with good reading comprehension, you will already know that Yuta is just dumb and boring. And ugly. Can't forget the ugly part. Step 3 to slandering Yuta Okkotsu. He is a bush camping Kenjaku victim, bruv. Now this is arguably one of the most foolproof ways of winning any online debate about why Yuta sucks, and why he isn't even close to top 5 in the verse. Yuta Okkotsu literally waited in a bush until Takaba wore Kenjaku down, and then only managed to sneak attack him because Todo was there to do the boogie woogie thing, bruv. If Yuta was strong enough to beat Kenjaku without any help, then he obviously would have done that. Now, these brain-dead Yuta glazers will try and tell you that the entire strategy to beat Sukuna revolved around Kenjaku being taken out as quickly as possible, which is why Yuta devised a plan to kill Kenjaku without actually having to fight him in a drawn-out battle by using Todo's Boogie Woogie. They will try and tell you that Yuta did this because he was a crucial part of the plan to beat Sukuna, and that if it wasn't for Yuta being there so fast, everybody would have been turned to mincemeat. But much like with step 1, there are 2 very effective ways of countering these points. A. Completely ignore it. B. Call it headcanon. Anybody with a lick of reading comprehension knows that Yuta would happily sacrifice all of his friends' lives and let Sukuna win if it meant that he could have a drawn-out fight with Kenjaku just for fun. Because as we know, Yuta Okkotsu absolutely loves fighting and would stop at nothing to fight a strong opponent like Kenjaku. All of this rubbish about them making a completely logical plan to take care of Kenjaku as soon as possible is pure headcanon. The truth is, Yuta only got help from Todo and Takaba because he knew it was impossible for him to win a fair fight against Kenjaku. If the internet bozo Yuta glazers keep disagreeing with you after you call it headcanon though, just tell them they can't read. Also, don't worry about providing any evidence to support your claim, because no evidence actually exists. Obviously, that's just because of mistranslations and Gege being a bad writer. Step 4 to slandering Yuta Okkotsu. Yuta Okkotsu is a hakari victim, bruv. This one is so easy. Yuta literally says Hakari is stronger than him in the Culling Games arc, so obviously it is absolutely 10 billion% true. People will try and say he's just being humble, but he's not. They will also point out that Maki immediately said that it's not true, but Maki is obviously wrong and biased. Even though she is normally a very cool-headed person who doesn't sugarcoat things to protect people's feelings, she's still wrong. Some manipulators will even try and say Hakari pretty much says the same thing when he openly admits that Yuta Okkotsu's technique is even more absurd and auspicious than his own. Just ignore this, bruv. It means nothing because Hakari is obviously very humble. Logically speaking, comparing Hakari's strong punch and immortality to Yuta's strong punch, Jacob's ladder, sky manipulation, shrine, curse speech, Druv's technique, RCT, Rika, love beam, a genius brain, Gojo genetics, and the top 5 domain is so stupid, bruv. Any sane person would look at that and immediately realize Hakari's strong punch is way better. But hey, Yuta glazers are clearly not sane individuals. When the Yuta glazers get really desperate, they might even bring up the page where Kenjaku outright states the heavy hitters are led by Okkotsu, and that traditional sorcerers such as Sukuna and Kenjaku are used to a power structure where the strongest sit at the top, meaning he considers Yuta to be the greatest threat among them. But like, what the hell does Kenjaku know? This is pure headcanon from Kenjaku. There is obviously no author intention in this comment at all, bruv. But if you do feel like you're starting to lose the edge in your debate, make sure to whip out the fact that Yuta actually fumbled against Sukuna twice. This is a very easy strategy. Well, it's a very easy strategy if you just ignore the fact that he actually won and achieved what he set out to do flawlessly, but Megami was the one who fumbled and got Yuta killed, and you should probably also ignore the fact Yuta saved Yuji's life once from Sukuna's cleave and another time from Malevolent Shrine when he pulled up in Gojo's body. Oh, and you should definitely ignore the fact that he soul swap trained with Gojo to refine his domain, and that after being in Gojo's body, he proved capable of creating a domain equal in refinement to Sukuna and Gojo. Just ignore all of that, bruv, and say that Hakari would have definitely beaten Sukuna. In fact, he would have beaten Sukuna so easily that Gege had to actually remove him from the fight completely. Therefore, Yuta is simply a Hakari victim, and there is nothing those damn Yuta glazers can do about it. Step 5 to slandering Yuta Okkotsu. If you are in one of those debates where the person tries to counter your baseless claims with logic and reasoning, then step 5 will act as a last resort. Step 5 involves ignoring absolutely every logical counter argument they are throwing your way and simply responding with, Yuta is ugly. There is nothing they can do about it, bruv. Nothing at all. And it definitely does not make you look like a 5-year-old with the mental capacity of a toaster. This is your mahoraga. This is your ultimate late throw in rock, paper, scissors, and it's absolutely unbeatable if you just spam it like a droid. If you want to spice things up a bit though, make sure to mention how Yuta is a terrible character because he stole Maki from Nobara and because he lived a complete and happy life before he died of old age. Like a bum, am I right? You shouldn't ever make it to step 5 in theory, but if you do, you'll be fine because it's literally unbeatable, bruv. Anyway, hopefully this video put things in perspective a little bit. As always, like, subscribe, membership, blah blah blah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in a bit.